Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We are Group 14, and today we have the privilege of delving into the world of art and design as we are about to explore the influential art movement known as Dashta. As we go through our report, we will talk about what is digital art, its characteristics and history, as well as its famous artworks and artists. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, what is digital art? The style, meaning the style in Dutch, was a prominent art movement that emerged in the early 20th century. It was also called as neoplasticism. This movement emerged in response to World War I. That is why artists during this time aimed to create a universal visual language. They wanted to make new ways in communicating through pictures that everyone in the world could understand. They wanted this universal visual language to show ideas and values in the modern world and also embrace a utopian vision of art and society. The Stijl artists believed that art could play an important role in achieving harmony, balance, and order in the world. Now, let us go to the primary features of the style arts. The style art has four main features. These are straight lines, primary colors, thick strokes, and geometric shapes. The style artists, specifically Theo van Doesburg and Piet Mondrian, wanted to strip away from the traditional style of art. They believe that simplicity is seen as a way to achieve visual harmony and balance, that by only using geometric shapes, primary colors, and straight lines, they could create compositions that are visually appealing and that could give them a sense of order and equilibrium, which is the main goal of the digital art. Let us know when and why the style art movement emerged. The style art movement was founded by Theo van Doesburg and Piet Mondrian in 1917 in Netherlands. This movement strictly follows the values of simplicity. It sought to ignore natural form and color. Instead, it simplified compositions to only straight lines, specifically horizontal and vertical lines, and the use of primary colors along with black and white. As mentioned earlier, the emergence of this movement was because of the horrors of the World War I. Even though this movement only lasted for a short period of time, it brought a huge impact to the art industry and the society as a whole. Its concepts and ideas are still applied up to these days and most prominently in the field of architecture.
Theo van Doesburg, a Dutch painter, designer, and architect, was one of the founders and leading theorists of this style, along with Piet Mondrian, which began in the Netherlands and flourished into one of the major interwar movements. Piet Mondrian, a Dutch painter, although he is best known for his abstract paintings made from squares and rectangles, Piet Mondrian started out painting realistic scenes, and he especially liked painting trees. Gerrit Rietveld, Dutch furniture designer and architect, was a Dutch furniture designer and architect associated with the avant-garde movement known as the style. Influenced by the abstract paintings of Piet Mondrian, Rietveld's work emphasized pure geometric form and primary colors. Wim Cesar, a Hungarian painter and designer who settled in The Hague in 1906, was not only one of the main founders of the Dutch De Stijl group, but also created the woodcut for the cover of the first issue of the group's magazine. Bart van der Lek, a Dutch painter, designer, and ceramicist, was a founding member of the Dutch review De Stijl. His interest in blending painting and architecture largely contributed to creating the new relationship between art and life that characterized neoplasticism. He Jacobus Johannes Peter Odd, a Dutch architect, also known as JJP Odd, is known for his pioneering role in the development of modern architecture. In his best work, including buildings in Amsterdam and Rotterdam, he emphasized purity of form, straightness of line, and balance of proportions. Now we move on to the amazing artworks that the Stijl movement has to offer. First in our list is Composition A by Pate Mondrain. It is a classic example of the Stijl characteristic, or what Mondrain would have called neoplasticism: primary colors, straight lines, creating rectangles and square. Second is Composition 7, The Three Graces by Theo van Doesburg. Composition 7 provides another great example of this style properties while also demonstrating its range. Red and Blue Chair by Gerrit Rietveld. Red and Blue Chair is perhaps the most famous non-painting example of the style. Rietveld's Kruder House, Gerrit Rietveld. The Rietveld Kruder House is technically the only fully style building ever made. Rhythm of a Russian Dance, Theo van Doesburg, 1918, is a classic example of the style characteristics: primary colors, straight lines, creating rectangles and squares. Two sculptures by George van Tergelo. Mondrian Dresses, Yves Saint Laurent, 1966. French fashion designer Yves Saint Laurent created a set of 6 cocktail dresses in the style of Pate Mondrain using only red, yellow, blue, and white rectangles bounded by black horizontal and vertical lines. Before we wrap up our discussion, here's a meme that occurs in this style movement. You can call it rectangles, but we call it the style. Thank you for listening, and if you have queries and questions, please raise it during our face-to-face classes.